Good day and good evening, everybody. Todd here, joined once again by DorkyRae.
Heyo.
And Thrabalen of Thrabalen Gaming.
Hello, Internet.
Hello, Internet. Good news, everyone. We're doing another episode. So
good news, we have another PODD coming your way.
Yes. So how's everybody been this week?
Oh, I've been good. Good movies coming out.
Yeah.
Which we're not going to talk about yet.
Yeah. So
y'all have a week.
we are just going to say this. Balen and I have both seen Deadpool 2.
I have not.
Ray has had scheduling conflicts that have disallowed the viewing of such cinema. So
yeah.
So we will not be discussing Deadpool 2.
It's been busy.
Yeah, I that's understandable. that is.
I'll have a week to see it before we unleash the spoilers.
Yeah.
Y'all realize you're giving me the week that is like the busiest week in pool season, and I work at a pool store.
I mean, I'm willing to give you as much time as you'd like.
You can have a whole 8 days.
Oh God.
But yeah, so I mean, there's that. So yeah,
my next real day off is the day after the next pod airs.
So yeah, we've been it's been an interesting week. Other than like the movie that came out, there really hasn't been a lot that we've talked about, a lot that we've done, that kind of stuff. It's been interesting. So yeah, there's that. Interesting news though. Last week I dropped a few teasers during the episode of Pod Errors. But you now can help support the Precipice Podcast Network with our Patreon. Patreon.com/PrecipicePodcast. We have tiers starting at $1, which is cool. Every little bit does help the network, which is awesome, and I'm very happy to do something a bit more coherent than the last Patreon I had. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a way for you guys to get to help us out in multiple ways. Firstly, there's it helps with our hosting fees. That's the main reason for the Patreon. It allows us with the hosting fees. If, for example, we end up hitting a decent bit, then that means that we can add more shows to the network as well, but more in-house shows, which is really cool.
More support means more content.
Exactly. And I mean, that's one of the cool things. On top of that, I mean, there's the standard tiers. There's the, just the thank you for the $1, thank you for your support, blah, 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 blah. Then there's the other, well, there's 4 tiers between $1 and then like our first like physical reward, where it's kind of split up. So 2 of them are Pod Errors related and 2 of them are Gimmick Bag related. So, but they're the same tiers, just depending on the shows. You have where you can basically ask a question, and we will do the best we can to answer it. I think that's the $5, and then the $10 is you can suggest a topic, as well as ask a question, and you get your thank you and all the other stuff.
Thrabalen Gaming does not guarantee that you'll like the answer to your question.
That is fucking fair. I have a feeling that a lot of it's going to be like, well, you're entitled to your opinion, but you're wrong.
Yeah. That may be like that, yes.
Yeah, so, we have the network supporter for $1. We have the question master, which is the $5 tiers. The topic analyst, which is the $10 tier. From there, which is really cool. After all that, the tiers that follow are all physical rewards that you guys will get actual physical stuff for, which is really awesome. There's a $25 tier where you get your thank you, you get to ask a question to either show and suggest a topic to either show, but you also receive a mug for as long as you are supporting at that $25 tier. $35.
That makes it sound like you have to send it back after you're done.
No,
Just the wording.
well, it's just the way I worded it there. But
you get a mug a month.
yeah,
I know. I'm aware of that. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Sorry, things strike me as funny sometimes.
Yeah. So you get a mug a month, which is pretty cool.
Yes,
let's
really
just say you don't want a mug though, but you'd rather have a shirt. $35 a shirt a month. The shirt you will receive, it will be either a Precipice Podcast Network shirt, a Pod Errors shirt, or a Gimmick Bag shirt. It'll be one of the three. It'd be kind of cool, kind of awesome. Some of them be older designs, some be new designs. So yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. You want the t-shirt and the mug? $50 every month. You get both, which is pretty good. $55 gets you a hoodie a month. You can get a hoodie and a mug, $65. A hoodie and a shirt for $75. And let's just say you want a hoodie, a shirt, and a mug every month. $100.
You also get our undying gratitude if you're paying us $100 a month.
Well,
And the official Thrabalen Gaming You Are Awesome Award, which unfortunately does not have its physical form at this point, but hey, it's in the form of me thumbs upping right now, even though you're doing it.
I was gonna say we should also have like a buy our silence, where if you pay us $5,000 a month, we will stop.
I will owe so many people money if I have to shut up for money.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But one of the things that held up getting the Patreon started was the goals, right? And I have not talked to you guys about these. I kind of just set them.
I'm not sure about those.
So
I haven't looked at those. Let's see.
So they have when you set goals on Patreon, you can do a monetary goal or you can do a community goal.
Oh, okay.
So I opted for community goals. At 50 patrons, an all-new in-house monthly podcast produced by the network.
Oh, nice.
100 patrons, an all-new bi-weekly. So once every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Podcast for the network. And at 200 patrons, a all-new weekly podcast from the network. So,
ooh, fun.
Yeah. So I've created more work for myself. A lot more work for myself. And but yeah, I mean it's one of those.
So when you say in-house, I'm curious what you mean by in-house.
Okay, so for those that are aware, the network consists of currently 3 shows.
Right.
We have Pod Errors, which is the show you're listening to right now. We have Gimmick Bag, and then we have Brothering Around. So Brothering Around is handled completely and totally by Wes from over there. Pod Errors and Gimmick Bag, I mean, like, okay, so like Brothering Around, all the hosting and all the audio hosting and all that, that's handled by Wes.
Right.
He's got his own dedicated hosting for that, and so on and so forth. Pod Errors and Gimmick Bag share the same hosting service, and I'm the one that physically uploads that. So anything that I have to upload, whether I'm a part of or not, because don't get me wrong, I'm not against doing 12 podcasts a week. It would be exhausting as fuck.
Dude, yeah.
Todd's body is against it, but Todd is
yeah. I mean, the more content, the better, right?
But you have to live to make that content. But still,
Yeah.
Fair. But let's just say, and I mean, like, we have Comfy Corner coming, so
Yes.
that's not included in this goal.
Okay. That's what I was trying to figure out. Was I was like, do I have to wait until we do?
No, because we've already discussed Comfy Corner. So, I mean, that'd be just like,
Right.
By the
I was
way,
kinda like,
by the way, guys, if you want, because if that was the case, I would have flat out just said like, and the all new Comfy Corner at 200 patrons.
yeah.
But no, it's I mean, there's some show ideas that have been kicked around for a while, and it would just be a matter of getting everybody on board and filling out the host roles and all the other stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's not.
Dude, I want something with me and Maury. I don't know what we would talk about, but I want to do something with me and Maury.
Yeah, I mean,
Even if it's just like one podcast.
well, I mean, there's that
one flippin' episode.
I do know that there is that crossover that we've been discussing quite a bit between having you and Maury talk crafting stuff while I'm completely amazed.
Yes.
I mean, I don't want to sit here completely silent.
Witchcraft.
Yep.
Because I would have
Wizardry.
nothing to add to the conversation.
I mean,
Witchcraft and wizardry.
yep. So I mean, that's one of those things. Like, so in the case of Maury, right? So me and Maury, if you guys don't know, we do Gimmick Bag.
Mm-hmm.
We also both did Brothering Around.
Right.
And just because of real life commitments and stuff like that, she decided to take a hiatus from Brothering Around. So just real life stuff, like just not enough hours in the day kind of thing. And meanwhile, I'm just like,
I feel
and I'm just like, okay, not a problem. And it's like now I'm just like, okay, so I have 3, which isn't horrible. I can pull off 3. And then it's me going like, it'd be great to do a podcast with this person or to have a podcast with these people and stuff. And it's just like, I'm just fucking hating myself by going like, I have so many ideas.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
I understand that.
Like, and the thing is, like, some of these people, like, we know some of these people. So, and I haven't discussed it with them yet. So, of being like, hey, would you be interested in blah, 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 you know? But I know we'll all agree on this. We know somebody who has the perfect radio voice.
Oh, yes.
You know exactly who I'm talking about.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yep. Does Balen have a inkling of it?
No.
Used to join us for Carball, and was always quite good at the Carball.
Huh?
Oh, am I thinking of something kind of completely different? Then? I think it's something completely different.
I just dropped the name in the Discord.
Oh. Oh. Okay, I was thinking of something. Something completely different.
Yeah,
I agree. Yes, that one too. I was thinking of
someone who's not allowed to drop links.
I was thinking of that one too. Those are 2 very good radio voices. Those are 2 very good radio voices.
I mean,
No offense to
no offense.
Guy, but the first, better. Sorry.
No.
Rich like frickin' butter.
Oh.
I can agree. I can agree with that. Yes.
A voice like Julia Child made it. It's just butter.
A voice like Paula Dean made it. It's that buttery.
Oh shit. Oh. But yeah, no, I definitely think, and I mean, they're friends. They're friends of ours. So, I mean, while I haven't discussed it with them, I will say like, I think it'd be great. Like, don't get me wrong, having Build do something would be interesting.
Yes.
I'm thinking it would have to be something to deal with like really, as the kids would say, dank shit, because I mean,
hopefully not anything having to do with images found on the internet or videos found on the internet.
well, I mean,
Because-
see, and the thing is, if that was the case, then that specific podcast in its video form would not be available on Twitch. So
The following podcast is rated MA, mature audiences only.
for language and sexual content. Oh.
So many people have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah. But the other,
Probably most people have no idea what we're
Yeah.
talking.
Fair.
but the other one, I would honestly, I would love to have a podcast, even if it was just like a one-off, with
Yeah.
Jess.
Yes.
Jess has a perfect voice,
Totally.
and I am just utterly like I could just sit there and listen to him talk. It's one of those situations, and I'm like, all right, that's pretty damn cool. But I mean, like having
So we made all that effort to talk around, and then you just go ahead.
yeah.
Yes.
Christmas.
Have you not met us, Ray?
Yeah. I mean, it's not a spoiler because it's something that I would actually have to go and sit down and have a discussion with them on that and so on and so forth. But I mean, this is purely hypothetical. Like so, but like the monthly podcast, for the $50 for the 50 patron one, I'm thinking just like basically almost like a mashup between the two shows. The two in-house shows we have right now. Which would be this show, which is Ray, Balen, and myself. And then the other show, which is Maury and myself. So I'm both the fourth and fifth seat on that show. I'm joking. But yeah, no, I thought that'd be kind of an interesting concept of just.
Yeah.
I mean, it would also kind of do that whole like I want to do a podcast with Maury thing. So I mean, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, that was kind of the idea of like, hey, if I know, that because of schedules and stuff like that, we couldn't do like a weekly where it's like something like that.
Oh yeah, no.
But once a month. Once a month could
That'd be
happen.
awesome. Yeah.
And I'm thinking that possibly the bi-weekly may have something to do with running a game of sorts. So
That would be nice.
So yeah, I mean that would be a thing. Would it or would it not be?
Given that reaction,
Like-
folks, remember, 100 patrons gets you that bi-week.
Like
Yeah.
like a thing that I've been wanting to do since we started doing. Oh,
A thing like we've wanted to do that we, which by the way, what may or may not have been recorded back in 2016 will be available sometime in about 2050. So you're welcome, internet. That's the inside scoop on. I'm joking. But no, I mean that's a concept I've tossed around where I'm like, that could be an interesting thing to
I
do.
mean,
Because I know we couldn't do it weekly. You know?
No. Oh, heck no.
We can't do it weekly without patrons.
We can't do
So-
it weekly without patrons.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and
Without recording it even, yeah.
yeah, no, and I completely and totally understand that. And for me, I would say, hey, if there's a demand for it, if you guys don't understand what we're talking around, because I'm that asshole that just like, we're gonna talk around
That's
stuff,
fun.
huh?
And then we're gonna.
And then we're just gonna just fucking flat out talk about it.
Yeah.
Tabletop game, bringing a
Tabletop game. And that would that mean that we would have like video?
No.
It would.
Not all of us.
Well, no, not like face cam, but like a screen capture of the
The dice rolling.
the dice rolling. Well, the dice rolling, and then like if we're on like Roll20 or whatever, the map.
I mean, if there's a map, because I will be.
I thought it was a map.
I will be perfectly honest with you when it comes to me running games. Typically, I'm very freeform, so I will
Same.
kind of lay things out, but I don't have like maps laid out because I know that players are assholes and will fixate on the one tiny detail that you've mentioned about 40 or 50 times and say, we're going to do that instead.
Yep.
Or, what's another great one? Okay, so you now have to go to the job board to figure out which job you're going to take. Okay, well here's the 3 jobs that are on the board, and then the group's consensus is, yeah, we don't like any of those. We're just going to go and travel. You're just like, motherfucker.
Thankfully, that didn't happen.
Yeah, because I was in the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it almost happened.
Yeah, I know.
And then I veered the
it
ship.
also didn't happen because
Instead, they decided to do all of the things.
well, no, I was gonna say it didn't happen because instead we had a break for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Because I suck.
No.
well, you guys were ready. Balen was basically ready last week, and I don't know. I don't. It might have been me. I know it was me this week.
I was not ready last week.
He was not ready.
You weren't ready last. That's right. You weren't ready last week.
The last 2 weeks he was unready.
Yeah.
And then this week
I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And they were like, fucking nope.
Yeah, Todd literally beat me by like a minute on saying, "Please don't hate me." But
I feel like I'm done.
no, I was literally typing up, "Guys, please don't hate me," but I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that happened, folks.
So, little bit of share time here. I am still experiencing like a fair bit of pain. I tried streaming earlier and I was feeling all right, and then started getting frustrated and it started bothering me again. So I laid down, I took a nap, and woke up, and I was still in some pain, but not all pain. And I'm just like, I'm in decent enough shape to do a podcast tonight. So yeah, that, I mean, before we recorded, I said like getting out of a chair is difficult. Like, yeah, that is exactly why getting out of a chair was difficult. But yeah, gotta love stress related pain. Gotta love it. Yeah.
And it just gets worse as you get older, folks.
Yep.
Concerned
It just
noises.
gets worse.
Yeah.
All of the concerned noises.
The only good thing about when you hit 40, let me tell you right here, straight talk. The only good thing about when you hit 40 is you finally have an excuse for being in pain and feeling tired all the time.
Fair.
Because at least now you have the age to where your body's like, yeah, we're supposed to feel this way.
Yep. I mean, arguably, I've felt like good bits of pain like most of my life. So it's one of those things where it's like when you're young, when you're a child, and you do dumb shit, and you're just like, I'm invincible. Yeah, no, you're not. Your
body reminds you, especially later on,
that
you're not invincible.
Yep. I mean, I hit 16, like 15, 16, and my body's just like, hey, remember all that shit we did? Yeah, no. Nope. Yep, this is your life now. Enjoy. So. And now it's like, you know, I'd worked that one job that was super stressful. And I did that for 5 years. And now it's, I mean, within the last 6 months, it's caught up to me. Like, since I left that job, it caught up to me.
Yeah.
So it's been like a lot of these like stress related pains and anxiety stuff and whatnot. I mean, I've had anxiety to begin with, so it's no big deal, but compound it with like stress related pain where it's like you feel like you're dying. It's it's lovely. So
Can confirm.
Yep. But yeah, no, so let's get out of the darkness for a second. Let's get out of the dark. Actually, you know, let's stay in the darkness for a little bit because apparently today was an interesting one of those. We're gonna make this a day. Today was World Goth Day.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
Yes. Today was World Goth Day.
That's still a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did not even think it was, but
Yeah, I know, right?
It was.
The best part about World Goth Day is looking up pictures of goth puppies.
Puppies are naturally happy. What the hell?
It's the cutest thing in the world.
I mean, and then there's also gems like the one I just shared.
Oh no.
Don't ruin goth puppies for me. Oh, that's wonderful.
Goth family and a kid dressed all in bright, smiling and shit. Love it when your son is going through a phase.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, but yeah, I mean, it's just today. It's just. I mean, today's just been an interesting day, and I mean, World Goth Day is like I didn't even know that was a fucking thing.
I didn't know goths were still a thing.
That's adorable.
Right?
So
somehow they actually managed to get the eyes of a puppy to look sad. I'm impressed. Horrified, but impressed.
So the funny thing is, so World Goth Day, right?
Mm-hmm.
A day where the goth scene gets to celebrate its own being and an opportunity to make its presence known to the rest of the world because we forgot it exists.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
That last part I just threw in there because I completely forgot it existed.
See, here's the thing. If you're real goth, you should be going, there's nothing to celebrate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
well, okay, so World Goth Day celebrates the subcultural aspects of the goth subculture.
okay, that's not goth, that's BDSM.
Not necessarily because you have, I mean, you got the quote unquote standard goth, but then
I'm talking about the picture.
Oh yeah, no.
Well, I mean that's an actual, that's a type of dog collar that's actually supposed to be that breed of terrier is more supportive for. I mean that's not.
I'm just saying when you combine all those elements,
I guess fair, but I mean that
particular
breed of terrier that's actually easier on their necks to use type of collar. But
I mean, is the jacket supported? Because
no, but I didn't know if you were referring to the muzzled to the. That
I'm saying
muzzled,
when you
that
put it
type
all
of muzzle
together,
collar.
that ceases to look anything resembling.
Fair.
Yeah, no, I get you on that.
Fair enough.
That being said, I don't like putting clothes on animals to begin with.
Yeah.
So.
That would be my reaction too. That would be my first reaction. How many dogs do you have?
Yeah,
and then I'd be like, wait.
Not realizing that that's all fetish gear. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would realize after a second, but
no, you wouldn't, and you know it.
Well, no, it would actually depend on where exactly that is. If that's like near the front door, then no, I probably wouldn't. If it's anywhere near the bedroom, then
what was
some
that?
people kink in public.
No.
Don't go shaming.
what I'm saying is that if it's near the front door, then no, I probably wouldn't realize that it's not for dogs. If it's near the bedroom, then yes, I would be like, oh wait, nope, not dogs.
See, and I mean, for me, I'm the person that if I owned a home and I had, things like that. I mean, if I'm just having friends over, there ain't no reason for me to put all that shit away. Like, it's just gonna be there.
Well, you got to hang it nicely so it doesn't get all tangled and
which is what this is doing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, gotta take good care of the leather.
But yeah, it's just, I mean, it's so like you have the goth subculture, which is interesting. It's always been interesting, and I mean, there's different tastes and aesthetics and fashions and stuff like that. Some of them draw more from like a punk influence, more from a new romantic influence and a new wave influence. Some people go Victorian and Edwardian, Edwardian.
I like the Victorian version, especially the ones that start veering more towards the steampunk aesthetic. Just because I've always been real into the steampunk look. Oh my gosh, that is beautiful. I love it. Sorry.
Yeah, and I mean, no, and for me, like, I've always been fascinated. Like, I've like the whole subgenre itself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been a thing for me.
Yes.
And that's why I'm like, I didn't know that this was a deal. That and spoilers, I work at a retailer that probably sells a bunch of this shit. So I mean, have you stopped at a Hot Topic lately? Because I mean,
I walked by one.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Like, I would so I would say that Hot Topic definitely used to sell a lot of goth stuff. They've definitely veered a lot more towards. They're much more hipster emo than goth now.
I mean,
at least the ones that I've gone into. And so now here's the thing. I would definitely, because I go into Hot Topic a lot.
No, here's the thing that cracks me up. Todd works at Hot Topic and you're goth explaining.
Yeah.
No, I know. So
don't goth explain me.
I'm sorry, just that cracks me up.
I'm not. I was gonna say I'm not trying to goth. I wasn't trying to goth explaining. Especially because I wouldn't consider myself goth, and I mean I like I said, I like the Victorian goth aesthetic, and I like the steampunk aesthetic. I don't wear it very often. I will say that once I went off to college, I went through that emo phase like really late in my life, and I kind of never really left it.
Oh.
So if I'm not like really super casual sweatpants and t-shirt, like if I'm actually dressing up, it's a very emo type look, which I'm ashamed to admit out loud. But
so when you say late in life, you mean high school instead of junior high?
No, I mean college. No, I mean college.
Direct all your hate at Thrabalen gaming, folks. But
I mean college instead of junior high.
Yeah. So.
And then I go and mix that in with hipster.
Okay, Todd, I gotta say this.
So
I only saw the thumbnails and I got a little bit confused at lower middle.
Lower middle, yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, how is the body? Oh no, those are knees.
Yep. Yep. But no, like the cyber goth look has always interested me.
Oh yeah.
It's a very, very interesting aesthetic.
I mean, I don't know what's funnier, Goth Mortal Kombat in upper right or Goth Predator in lower right.
How about My Little Gothic Pony in the middle, bottom middle?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the knees.
Yep. But I mean, like that whole look is just always been. It's always that thing of like, hey, I don't know what it is about it, but I really enjoy it. I really like that look. Which I'm just going to say, if a game wants to, if an MMO wants me to play it and spend a lot of time in it, first off, it's got to have a compelling story, blah, 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 blah. That goes without saying. Secondly, allow me to have cyber goth clothes. Because I will have multiple characters in different outfits with different hairstyles, and it'll be a thing. It'll be my city of heroes.
Straight talk here. Here's my problem with Goth. I don't have a problem with it. I think it looks beautiful. I just can't imagine going through that much work every day.
Fair.
Oh, yeah. No.
I can't imagine. I throw on jeans, a t-shirt, sneakers, and a hat, and I'm out the door.
Yeah.
So the thing is, a lot of times, and you know, growing up in North Jersey, I mean, yeah, there was the whole. I fell into that whole quote unquote goth crew thing. So we knew people from different subsects of the whole gothic styles. So we had the girls that would always wear like the pleather pants and the fishnet shirts and stuff like that. But then you would also have some people that would do the cyber goth thing, and it's just like, and the whole question came up at one point. It's just like, do you do this all the time? And they go, are you fucking crazy?
That's so much work.
When it comes to like the cyber goth look, and now this may be different for some people, but from the people I've talked to, they only typically dress that way when they're going to a club or so on and so forth, you know?
Yeah.
If they're going shopping, like if they're going and picking up groceries, they're not throwing on their gas mask and making sure that their hair lights up perfectly. So.
Right. Now, I do know there are some, it's not exactly goth, but it's like, it's of a similar, I guess, eye-catchingness.
Yeah.
The Harajuku.
I'm going to need an example.
If it's what I'm thinking, go ahead. Just I'll be good.
Because if I mean, the best example is probably going to be like a photo.
Yeah.
You could find one.
It's like, I mean, it's like I said, it's.
You realize you have the world's best like image searching.
Yeah, no,
website,
I know.
Which we're not going to mention by name.
No, I know.
Basically,
I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find a good picture.
Yeah,
These are kind of crummy pictures. Hold on.
So one thing I will kind of say, and this, I mean, some people may not want to hear this. Some people may be like, oh, why are you getting into this whole thing on this? And it's just like, because it's a fucking thing. And we're talking about like goth stuff, right?
Yeah.
So since
these are all of the city.
So I mean the goth scene isn't as prevalent nowadays as it used to be. It's still pretty prevalent like overseas and stuff, which is pretty cool. But since the late 1970s, the UK goth scene refused traditional standards of sexual propriety, which is interesting. So I mean, like, you look at it, and I mean, this includes being like super androgynous and all the other stuff, like not giving a shit of like, so I'm by birth assigned male, I'm going to wear corsets and all the other stuff, like. And to them, it's acceptable, and that's okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Harajuku.
Yep. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
And I do know some Harajuku. Well, they call themselves Harajuku girls.
Yeah.
It looks like a Sherman Williams exploding.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say about it.
That do like dud themselves out no matter what. If they leave their house, they are full blown. And I'm just like, that's so much effort. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, legit. That's what I think whenever I see anybody dressed elaborately. Weddings inspire that thought in me, okay?
Fair enough.
I mean,
So, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, that's mildly terrifying.
weddings, yeah, I agree.
But yeah, so the, you know,
Anyway.
we've always danced around certain topics.
Yeah.
I mean, we
certain ones we're going to continue to dance around.
oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Though I will say that when it comes to the sociology of the goth lifestyle or goth scene, very like everybody goes, oh well, they're the whole, you know, they're the spooky kids and blah blah blah, and they hate everything and stuff like that. They are some of the nicest people.
Nicest people.
Yeah, some of the nicest people you'll meet. And on top of that, I mean, coming from, at least I'll speak for myself on this. A lot of the ones that I've known, you know, if you want to say they're a card carrying member, then whatever. But I mean, they were always, well, almost always, in some way either supportive or a part of the LGBT movement. So there's always that. So I mean, they were very accepting, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's something that people don't think of. Like they see them and they're just like, oh, those fucking people. Like, and you got to realize, like, it's discrimination is discrimination.
Exactly.
And I mean,
and honestly, let me just say, it is that discrimination that they face that I think makes them such an ally to alternatively lifestyle people.
well,
Yeah. I mean, that's possible.
well, the
Allies, you know.
well, the ones that aren't LGBT themselves.
Oh
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
Well, that's true about any subsect. I mean, basically, you.
And in a sense, there's some that, I mean, they'll hate just for the sake of hating. Like, there's always those people. So
Well, what I mean is, you have to include the subs. Basically, say
yeah.
the subsect that aren't that themselves. Whenever you're talking about any group of people, because obviously, you know, they're not going to hate on themselves.
Oh yeah.
In most cases.
Yeah.
In most.
In most cases.
I mean, there are some that do.
There are some, and that's sad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I mean, well, I'll be honest. For the longest time, I hated myself. So there is that.
Yeah.
And
Well, there's hating yourself personally, and there's hating the demographic you represent, is what I'm saying.
fair.
Yeah.
Well, the thing was, it's like I've almost, I would say almost always, but I mean, there was that, you know, when you're young, you really don't know things. So, but I've almost always been a supporter of, you know, lots of different ways of life. Right.
Same here.
And
Sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. I started laughing. I didn't know if it caught on.
Why?
No, because I was looking at pictures and I found a thing you can dress like that without going to a yoga class, and I can dress like this without going to a funeral.
Okay, fair. It's just the timing was very odd.
Yeah, no, I know, and which is
what
why I
confused
said
me.
sorry, because I didn't know if it was coming through the mic, and I was like, "Oh, this is such a bad time to be laughing," but that pops up on my screen at such an inopportune time.
Right, I'll be honest with you. That's why I asked, because I figured that would give you a chance to explain the weird ass laughing time.
Yes, exactly. Yes, no, I know.
What
Because
did you do, Ray?
Because if you just volunteer that information, you look like, oh no, I was laughing at a picture. That just seems weird.
Yeah.
That people are even more convinced you were laughing at the wording.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
No.
Okay.
But
Yes.
Continue, Todd. Sorry about that. Yeah.
But I know for me, up until maybe 6-7 years ago. Well, actually, let's be more realistic. Up until about a year and a half ago, I kind of hated myself because I didn't understand my own like emotional attachment and attractions. So yeah, so there was that, and it was just because it's one of those things where you get, just being around a lot of people and stuff like that, you get indoctrinated with this whole, if you think this way, then there's something wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
we live in a world in which there has never been a greater tolerance than in no other point in history that there have been more tolerance than there are now. But because of that, the people who are intolerant feel pushed against. And as a result, they push back. And thus, intolerance has never been so visible as it is now.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a weird dichotomy.
Yep.
To which I actually just want to say to people out there who are black or transgendered or homosexual or anything like that, you may be seeing a lot of this pushback. But understand that's just because if you look at a painting and you see one black dot, that black dot is going to stick out. That's the intolerance. The darkness in someone's heart. That's the intolerance right there. So basically, you're seeing that intolerance because it is so minuscule these days.
Yeah.
It's just, it stands out against the broader brightness of the world. So don't ever feel like things are worse than they've ever been. They're better than they've ever been, and they're going to continue to get better. Because honestly, and this coming from someone who's in their 40s, as people age and die off, you'll be left with less and less intolerance. Because intolerance is mostly a thing of people set in their mindset.
Yeah.
And teaching that to people. And honestly, the further it goes on now, the less intolerance there is, because people of the younger generations, of Ray's generation, for example, are going to understand that hating someone for what they look like or how they were born is the most idiotic fucking thing you can do.
I'm going to also add, and this is like a side note to that, people of the younger generation, and we'll just use Ray as the example.
Yay.
Because, I mean, you're part of that younger generation. Like,
Yeah.
That's
why I use that word.
of this podcast.
Yeah. So, not only is it what Balen just said, but they also have an easier time accepting themselves for themselves.
Yes.
Than the older generations, the me and Balens, so generations. So, because I mean, let's be honest, like, it's no fucking secret for me anyway. But it took me 33 years, 32 years for me to actually accept myself for who I am. So,
and who you are is awesome.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I have my moments.
We think so.
I mean, I have my moments, and it's just like, and at the same time, there's still facets of me that I don't typically share. Like, it's interesting. Like, I did it on stream where I was just like, I did basically a coming out on stream. So there was that, and that was, I mean, hearing from people that were just like, I'm so proud of you that you felt comfortable enough to share that, and finally be able to accept yourself, and then also hearing from people saying, I felt inspired by what you did to finally accept myself, like, and it was weird. Like, to me it was weird because I'd never thought of myself like as I am now. I've always thought I always thought of myself of like, oh, I'm the straight guy, and it's not the thing. So yeah, that's a thing. It's a very interesting thing. But yeah, Gotta love the fact that this is all part of the the World Goth Day podcast.
Woot woot woot.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's something else.
Mhm.
Both you already know this. I've never mentioned it to pretty much a soul otherwise, but here's the thing. Growing up, when I hit about 17, I realized that there was something about me that seemed rather different than everybody around me. Strangely enough, luckily for me, it wasn't one of these situations where I tried to rebel against it. I internalized it. I mean, I didn't show the world it. I didn't show anybody it. But, and it had actually been earlier than that, but at 17, I told my mother. She was supportive. But at the time, there just wasn't enough public support for me to cope with the fact that internally, I feel female. And always have. Externally, I'm very much male looking. I mean, let's face it. I've got breasts, but that's because I'm fat. That happens when you have weight.
That makes two of us. So
yeah. So, but basically, I have always felt internally that I should have been born a girl. And here's the problem. I realized this in like the 1980s, and while there was the possibility, there wasn't the probability. It was expensive, and society pushed hard against it. What transgendered people go through these days to transition, I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's definitely there's less pushback than there was in my day.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, I know I'm never going to transition. It's not possible at this point. I mean, it's possible, but even so, it would be, at this point, more trouble than I would actually get benefit out of it, which is sad. But I mean, I've come to grips with the fact that this is who I look like, but it's not who I am. And if I'd have been born 20 years later, I probably wouldn't be who I am sitting here right now, at least not physically. I'd still be the same mentally because it's still the same person up here.
Well, except for you wouldn't be talking about the glorious 80s, so.
Yeah, there is that. So, yeah, there's a balance. There's a trade-off there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, so yes, that's who I am. I've never mentioned this to anybody but Todd or Ray or basically people in my personal life. So, hey, everybody.
I mean, honestly, I did not expect you to talk about that, like, at all.
And it went there, okay? I'm sitting here going, there's never going to be a better time.
I mean, it's, wow. I mean, I will be perfectly honest. Like, that caught me off guard. Completely. Like, as I said, I did not expect, like, the
there's
second
you said. It's going, rewind, but no.
No, it's fine.
Out there now, and it's out there and I'm out there. I don't care.
Yeah.
This is who I am.
I'm very proud of you.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about this tomorrow, but for tonight, I'm happy I did this.
If there weren't like a bajillion miles separating, I know it's not actually that far, but I would legitimately hug you after making sure that I had
Well, thank you. And
yeah,
it's something I've had to live with, and honestly, as I've grown older, I've realized, you know what? To hell with what anybody else thinks.
Yeah.
Why do I care what anybody else thinks about?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I was saying, I mean, while we're on the topic, I don't make it a secret on my Twitch streams, but as far as the podcast, I don't think I've said anything about it, but I am asexual and genderqueer. So, yeah, that's out there too.
Yep.
So,
when you come to PODD, folks, you don't just get like laughs and entertainment. You get a peek into someone's soul.
You indeed do.
Especially tonight.
Yeah.
This is going to be an interesting one to title, Todd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have fun, man.
Yeah. I'm thinking World Goth Day Revelations.
Yeah, there's that.
You go.
But yeah, I mean, it's just the whole, because I mean, like, that being said, like with basically us kind of saying our our stuff, and kind of laying that out for you guys. Like, typically, I mean, I know for me, and I know Balen and Ray, we're typically private people when it comes to a lot of our stuff. So the fact that we have in turn shared this with you guys is, I mean, it gets easier the more you talk about it.
Yeah.
It's always the way it is, but there's also the constant thought of, I mean, at least for me, like, well, if I talk about this, then how are people going to react?
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I always think about stuff.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if I were to say, and this is not a hypothetical, but if I were to say, like, every now and then I feel like I want to be pretty, and I want to wear pretty things. Like, that's a thing, that's just, I mean, that's not something I've talked to people about. I mean, some people may have picked up on certain things I've said, and half the time I try to pass them off as comedy, when in all actuality, it's just like, no, that's actually a really nice outfit, and that's definitely something that if I was in half the shape I could be, that I may possibly try to pull off. So, hence the picture I dropped, which fitness goals. So, because that was the thing. But yeah, so the silence.
I'm just sitting here thinking, okay, vinyl, how many yards? I'm
oh,
like,
see,
like,
and this
okay.
is the costumer in
the costumer, and saying, all right, Todd, you hit that fitness goal, I will make the thing for you.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is the jackass in me saying, and if you wait till you hit that fitness goal, it'll be cheaper.
Oh, rude.
I told you, it's the jackass in me.
Well, and it wouldn't necessarily, and like,
I say this as someone who could stand to lose about 30 or 40 or more pounds. So
yeah, I mean, arguably I can stand to lose. I still need to lose like maybe about 40 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, same.
Yeah, and then I was gonna say, and then after that, I would have to also kind of, well, I mean, regardless, even now, if I were to wear any of the things that I do have, I'd probably need to be. They probably wouldn't fit, so I would have to get resized anyway. So,
fam,
yes,
you have a costumer.
I understand that.
You have a costumer that knows alterations.
I understand this, but at the same time, it's not like it's not like these are. I mean, these are really like cheap one-off things that you kind of pick up. It's not something like, oh, well, let's do an alteration on it, because it's not like, oh, hey, these are outfits to like wear out.
Also, pleather and vinyl is like really fucking difficult.
Well,
to work with.
Well, I will be honest.
Damn well should be.
Right now, I will tell you this: I do not have any pleather or vinyl, so that is nothing that would need to be altered.
And also, because this is all about inclusiveness, what we've been talking about, I just gotta say, Todd knows the spirit in which I fucking said that.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, Todd knows I'm not going to make fun of anybody for their appearance.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, that was a cheap joke, and that's my wheelhouse.
Yeah. I mean, cheap jokes are where it's at. I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
I guess it should be said for the audience sake.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
that's why I'm saying.
Balen is an asshole, but not that much of an asshole.
Yeah. I'm not an asshole, but I played one on TV.
Well, yeah, Balen has their moments. Balen's got the moments where it's just you go, why am I friends with Balen?
yeah, pretty much, actually.
Yeah.
And I will be perfectly honest with you. There's a part of mine that goes too heavy. Have to lighten the mood.
Yeah, fair.
That's where that came from.
I mean, that is
So then, of course, make weight jokes because lighten the mood.
See, and now you're doing it.
Puns!
Wait, hold on. I had to do it.
Also, mark your calendar. This was on this day. Ray made a pun before Balen did.
So,
And also, to be fair,
yeah.
I will also ascribe to the theory of you can make fun about something of which you are a part of.
Yeah,
No,
no,
yeah,
that's
fair enough.
I made a weight joke because I can stand to lose weight as well.
yeah.
I'm making fun of me at the same time.
So, while we're on the topic of like being inclusive and all the other stuff, I mean, it's not really a segue per se. But if you do go to shop.spreadshirt.com/precipicepodcast,
You can get all different sizes of shirts.
I say for the month of June, but let's be honest, these designs are not going away, and neither is the stipulation on these designs. So,
and neither are the groups they represent.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's interesting is I've kind of nailed almost everybody in the group of people I know with these, which is really interesting. Because I mean, there's certain groups that don't get as much attention as they deserve. Let's be honest. But on shop.spreadshirt.com/precipicepodcast, you can pick up our new Pride collection. You can get Pod Errors shirts with a modified Pod Errors logo. You can get the gimmick bag shirts. Same gimmick. You can also get. I say gimmick a lot, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, or you can get Precipice Podcast Network mugs. Right, it's a white mug with the logo on it. All the logos, whether it's Pod Errors, Gimmick Bag, or Precipice Podcast Network, are done up in one of 6 different prides. Of the ones we have, we do have the asexual, which is
Woot woot woot.
We do have the genderqueer.
Woot woot woot.
We have the pansexual. No woot 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 on that one.
No,
okay.
woot woot woot. I mean, mental, but...
Support it for the community. Woot, woot, woot.
Yes.
We have the less talked about polysexual, which is actually what I identify as. So,
Nice.
and then we also have the bigender, which is another one that doesn't get a lot of attention.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have our straight up. And I just kind of laughed in my head when I said straight up.
I had the same thing hit my head.
Yep.
Like, you must not laugh out loud.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, we have the we have the LBGT rainbow design as well, and a mic bump because I probably just bumped the mic.
Yep.
Yes, you absolutely did.
So we have those. Those are available. The mugs are. So the mugs themselves are $11.99. The shirts are $19.99. These are prices based on US dollars, so go according to what your rate, your currency rate is, exchange and such. The exchange rate. There we go. That's the word. That's the word I was looking for. But
try out words, you get there eventually.
Yeah, exactly. But if you purchase any of these designs, they, and I'll read the exact wording of it. All proceeds for the shirt will be donated to the Trevor Project. Trevor Project is the leading national organization providing crisis intervention and suicide prevention services to lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, and questioning youth. So, Honestly, I wish there was an organization like that when I was growing up. And yeah, I mean, it's one of those things of like, I wanted to do something special, especially because we got Pride Month coming up. But I wanted it to be something special. You know, I wanted to do something where I was not kind of like, yeah, I mean, we got the kind of catch-all. You know, we got the catch-all with the standard rainbow, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
But then we have the 5 other ones. I mean, you don't see a lot of, for example, asexual stuff.
Right. Oh, it's so hard to find that.
It's easier to find asexual than it is to find bigender.
True. Very true.
And God forbid you try to look for polysexual. That's another one. But I mean, like, you'll find the regular pride. I mean, genderqueer you're finding a little bit more of these days because people are more accepting and such.
Well, and it's starting to be more of a catch-all too.
It is. I mean, you got your standard rainbow, which is your, you know, oh, that's my orientation, quote unquote, catch-all, and then you have the genderqueer, which is, and this is how I feel biologically, catch-all. So it's just, yeah, I mean, so yeah, technically, you know, we got the 2 catch-alls, I guess, if you want to put it that way, and then we do have the pansexual, which, I mean, I could have done like a standard bisexual, but like, I mean, I didn't. Maybe in the future I'll do one. Who knows? I know I do want to expand this collection out. That is definitely a thing that will end up happening at some point, but it's a matter of finding out. Like, if you guys go to our Twitter, twitter.com/precipicepodnet, because I couldn't even fit Precipice Podcast because of how many letters I'm allowed to use for a username.
Yeah.
But if you do Precipice Podnet on Twitter, you can, you know, kind of, there should be a tweet up there about, hey, listen, if you guys, which prides would you like us to do? Just send us recommendations on like ones you would want to see, ones that are personal to you. And I will do my damnedest to try to get those made for you. Because that's, I mean, I went with the ones I went with specifically for the fact that I personally know people that fall into these, you know, these prides, you know?
Right.
And I wanted to have those as the baseline of like, hey, these are this is where we're starting. Let's kind of move from that. Like, where do we go from here? And I mean, if you guys have any suggestions on ones you want to see, whether, you know, for example, I don't know, like I'm on the spot right now and I can't think. So that's a thing. That's fucking lovely. I'm
It happens.
The important thing to remember is that we are inclusive, not exclusive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you want to see a Bear Pride shirt, then just let me know, and I will try to make that a thing. I mean, there's that. There's, for example, this one's weird for me because if you look at the different like pride flags, I guess, if you want to put it that way, there's not one for like standard lesbian.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's one for lipstick lesbian, which I've always been very like, I've never really been pleased with like that terminology.
Yeah, I have to admit, basically the problem with that terminology is it essentially implies that a lipstick lesbian is not a real lesbian.
Yeah.
It's the big problem I have with it. And moreover, it implies that a lesbian is supposed to not look feminine.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely.
And that annoys the crap out of me.
Yeah. And I mean, I would, but I mean, if that's one that you guys would want,
weird.
if that's one design you guys would like, then I can definitely see about making that happen. And while these shirts are available, anything made off of them, and full transparency here, basically there is no design fees on these designs. So the only money being made off of these designs are from the actual shirt sale or the mug sale. I don't know what the commission is on the mug, but typically the shirts are about $4. So basically $4 from every shirt sale is going to the Trevor Project. So it may be a little bit more, but I gotta kind of see what the because we recently sold one of the new PODD shirts, and when I get the statement on that, I can kind of say like, oh, okay, this is the percentage, because it's done up similarly to the pride stuff. But I mean, so it's like, no, I don't like doing design fees. I want to make the shirts accessible to anybody that can. So I mean, this is the problem with Redbubble and why I stopped using them. I could do a single design shirt and it'd be like $24. I can do a single design shirt on Spreadshirt and it's $15.49. If I do two designs, it's $19.99, and that's with no design fee. Like, they instantly bake that in on Redbubble. So
nice.
And then you can just adjust it. It's like, how much of a percentage do you want to make on Redbubble? And like, that's basically the way they do it. Like, how much do you want to make? So then you don't even set like I want a design fee of this. It's like, no, I want a percentage of like this. And then next thing you know, the shirt's like $40 and you're like, it's a fucking t-shirt. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, a t-shirt is something I throw on before I leave the house, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say that I have paid. I won't pay more than $30 for a shirt retail. Yeah. Because I mean, there's situations where like I'll go to for example, I'll go to a concert and the shirt will be like $28, and I'll be like, all right, you got me. Or I'll go into, for example, like I've ordered a lot from like Pro Wrestling Tees, and like most of their shirts are like between $20 and $25. So it's like, but then I do a lot of grab bags, which are like $8. So it's like an $8 shirt, but it could be any shirt that they sell, and it's like, all right, well, fucking, I'm rolling the dice on this.
Yeah.
And needless to say, I've not been disappointed once. So that's actually a very interesting one. But yeah, I mean, we're wrapping up the end of May.
Yeah. Oh golly, Moses.
We got one more. Well, we got one more May podcast left in us, yep. And then after that, it's what? For
June?
Yeah, then it no.
I mean, fair enough.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, right? If I weren't as tired as I am, I would have done it.
Yeah.
You just got there before I thought of it.
It was and right there.
And now you have the slightest inkling of how I usually feel with this crap, Ray.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that sorry, that just vaguely reminds me of when I was in high school. I was on the volleyball team, and there was one game where we were way behind in points, and the coach yelled out, "Don't worry, all we need is," and she sat there trying to figure out how many points we needed, and I yelled out, "A calculator."
Yes, that's
Every now and then, I can be witty in a timely manner, usually I can't think of a good witty response until like way late. And
I'll be honest with you. When I'm not online, that's usually how I am.
So
so I'm just really proud of myself.
So yeah, I mean, it's what I was going to say is
It's gonna be true.
we have one more May podcast, and then we have 4 June podcasts scheduled. They may not happen, may not be 4 June podcasts because, for example, who knows? Somebody may be, somebody may get sick. Somebody may be laid up in bed because their ribs feel like they're going to explode. Somebody may also oversleep, i.e. the same person whose ribs may feel like they're going to explode.
No, the way my sleep's been going, that might be me.
Oh, wow. Then I hit the whole group, didn't I? Huh.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the thing. But yeah, so I mean, I'm thinking for June, we might, I think we might focus a bit more, on a specific thing.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Focus. That's not a word in our vocabulary.
Well, better fucking learn it. Just better start learning the focusing.
Do you know who you're talking to? I mean, so here's the thing. I posted about the fact that I posted on both my Dragon Horde creations and my Dragon Horde cosplay Pinterest the Pod Errors t-shirt that I purchased.
Mm-hmm.
And saying little known facts, I'm part of a weekly podcast called Pod Errors. And so this is what I put. If you're looking for quality entertainment, ... probably look elsewhere. But if nerdy rambling is up your aisle, give us a listen. Because nerdy rambling is what we do.
I mean, for the most part, yes.
They are not mutually exclusive.
Focus and nerdy rambling. I don't know if we can focus.
I mean, what I'm thinking is
we're gonna rabbit trail. It's gonna happen.
What I'm thinking is this. I think it's funny that Todd started talking about focusing and we got immediately off track.
Yep.
I think that at least one episode in June we do need to discuss the just in I mean, Balen's pretty well versed in comics, so there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Ray is not.
So I'll be sitting here quietly doing.
But gives you like a month to catch up and or gives you a couple weeks to kind of get to a certain place where you can kind of add to the conversation as opposed to us just jumping into the conversation.
Yeah.
Which is fair. I mean, specifically like how comics have handled the LBGT community and stuff like that. Because I mean, they've gotten better over the last 5 or so years.
Still a tiny bit of a shit show, but yeah.
It is. But then again, at the same time, the world's become more accepting of it too.
Exactly.
So, I mean, there's that. So, I mean, it's just, it's just the thing I'm throwing out there. Just the thing I'm throwing out there.
Yeah.
Yep. Because I mean, that might be something, especially in June, Pride Month, might be a thing to discuss.
That's fair.
I'm thinking, my whole thing when I say focus, it's just like, I just think that like because I know we can't keep ourselves from going all over the place. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But if we can just kind of narrow it a bit,
that's possible.
Yeah.
We're not completely focused, but we're focusing it in on the specific thing.
We're starting with the topic.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of focused on this episode, You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
On it, yeah. Here's what's funny. We focused, but we kind of steered away toward our multi-topic pattern, which by focusing, we went off script.
We have a script.
That's my point. We don't, but tonight we
Yeah.
did. So by staying on script, we went off script.
Yeah. Well, okay. So our for you guys that don't know, our script is basically like, hey, you guys ready to record? Okay, cool. What are we talking about?
That's it.
We'll figure it out.
Yep.
And then
Todd says, "Oh, we started recording half an hour ago." I go, "Oh, we did. Okay,
yeah,
that's the script."
The script is me fucking with both of them, telling
Yeah.
saying that we're recording when we're not. But it's gonna happen one of these days where I'm just gonna quietly start recording, and nobody's gonna know. And then like halfway through the episode, I'm like, all right, let me go and hit that intro for the episode where we've already started recording.
Yep.
They're like, you're fucking around, right? And I'm like, nope.
Not this time.
I'll fade it in and fade it out, like just.
The problem is going to arise is that we're going to get into something really personal. It's going to be like, oh crap, I really should have told them.
Yeah. So I mean, it is one of those things. Like, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I know next week, hopefully, we'll be talking Deadpool 2.
I will try. I will legit try.
Right?
You will not try, Ray.
Right?
I will try. I will try. I have 2 days where it is possible that I may be able to see it.
And
I have no. I mean, knowing the way that my life goes, I'm sure something will probably come up where it'll be like, but I will do my best. To
right.
See it
If it comes down to it, I will find a way for you to be able to view this film before the podcast.
Come work my shift for me, man.
Shit, if I could, I would. Maybe they would keep me on. Who knows?
Hey, I mean, honestly, we need workers.
I'm a man with a very specific
I would say come move here, except don't, because apparently our car.
So what I would probably do is what people used to do when they lived in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people
sell my car.
No. A lot of people in New Jersey would either if they would either have their own vehicle and pay the absorbent amount of insurance and all the other stuff, right? They would work a job where they get a company vehicle so they didn't have to deal with that shit. Or 3, they would have a friend who lives out of state who has their mail sent to them. So it's proof of address.
Uh-huh.
So they can just take advantage of the lower rates.
Fair.
But Ray, I want you to listen very closely. I'm a man with a particular set of skills. I will hunt you down. I will track you down. I will find you. And I will take you to that movie.
Please do.
But yeah, it's just, I mean, honestly, if I could, I would totally work your shift.
Yeah, like I legit, like, this isn't even one of those matters where it's not wanting to go see it by myself, because I will go see that movie by myself. Mm-hmm. I don't care. It's absolutely a matter of
I would actually advise to not watch it with like parents.
Yeah.
No,
I made watching the first one with my dad.
Yeah, if I could, I would totally come there and watch Todd work your shift.
Oh gosh.
Arguably, if Balen could, he would totally come and watch me work my shifts at Hot Topic.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
I have watched it remotely.
No, you've listened to.
You've
listened to me work when I was working the gas station.
Yep.
Because I would have Discord calls.
That was honestly fun.
Yeah. Oh, it was
Especially when I didn't know there were people in the place when I was talking about things.
Oh, my favorite was when Storms would
Yeah.
or when I would or when I would cash somebody's ticket in for the lottery machine.
Yeah.
Lost in Paradise.
Exactly.
You're a winner.
Oh God.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Or when Storms couldn't keep quiet when I'd make a horrible joke about somebody.
Yep. Yeah, I mean,
because I'd be typing that up in the Discord chat, and then suddenly Storms bursts out laughing.
Yep.
Oh, accurate.
Yeah, it was some of the more fun times that made that last year there very tolerable. So
yeah.
But yeah, it's just. I mean, I don't know, like, yeah. Mm-hmm. But no, it's just. Back onto the kind of heavier topic, a little bit. So
yeah,
at my job, which we've already established where I work,
yeah.
I find myself like obviously doing the job, right? Folding shirts and ringing up people and helping them get pop figures and whatnot. But I also find myself looking at a lot of the clothes and being like, and it's the whole situation of, if I lost a little weight, I could probably pull that off.
Yeah, that is my problem with Hot Topic, is a lot of their clothes run really tiny.
They do. And
it's kind of annoying.
Especially when you're a guy looking at the women's clothes. That's also a thing, because you're just like, I mean, that's a really, really cute outfit, but yeah, I need to lose like 40 pounds to be able to get into the extra large. So
I would explode that shit.
That being said, like, if you do want that style, like,
Ray, why are you doing things that you're gonna hate later on?
Yeah.
What?
Why are you doing things that you're gonna hate later on? You're just like, if you like that style, and I'm just like, I know where this is going.
No,
yep.
What I'm saying is that why are you saying, why am I doing things later on?
Oh, because
my mom.
No, because
what?
No, well, no. What I'm saying is because of the fact that you're costumer and stuff like that, and some materials are a bitch to work with.
Well, yeah, but no. So I've got to work with them eventually, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but
fair.
no, like, if there is ever something that you really, really want, rather than buying it from Hot Topic, like,
I get 40% off though.
Well, that's true, but they're also like really shoddily made.
Some of it is, yeah.
Some of it is really shoddily made. So if it's something that I could potentially do, see if we can figure something out.
Yeah, fair.
Honestly, just because quality made things is better.
No, absolutely.
What the heck is making that sound? Can you guys hear that too?
With the little bell sound?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I just think. Okay, so my dad's birthday was this weekend, and we got him a sound bar for the television.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just got turned on too high. That's probably good.
Good talk.
Good talk.
Yep.
I almost just made a joke, and then I realized that if I said the joke, I would have just spoiled something.
Yeah.
And I caught myself because I was
Good.
I'm gonna message Balen the joke.
Okay. Cool. So while you guys have been watching Deadpool, I have been watching because I've been this past week I've been working a lot, but I've also been house sitting. And because house sitting is always like really quiet, I always watch a lot of YouTube and Netflix and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so for multiple reasons, my brain issues have been like really high, and so I decided that pretty much the only thing that I really was craving to cheer me up was musicals, because I don't know, fuck Balen.
Because there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, well, but I finally found a semi-decent YouTube full showing of Wicked, the musical. And
Nice.
oh my gosh, it's so good.
So, well,
Oh, it's so amazing.
So for those of you keeping track at home, it was the asexual that said "fuck Balen."
Yeah.
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 Sorry.
Absolutely.
Hey. Yeah. It's. I mean, okay. So let's. I'm not against musicals.
Mm-hmm.
I am.
Yeah, we know this.
Though I have.
I know this.
I have.
Why do you think I bring them up so much?
I have very specific taste when it comes to musicals, though.
Okay, fair.
So, like, for example, like, I remember, like, I've done in high school. Part of my my drama training stuff. We actually went and saw Les Miserables on Broadway.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
So
I'm so jealous.
So yeah, we saw that, and that was pretty all right, I guess. I wasn't like super into it.
Okay, so Les Mis is not one of my favorites, but I'm still insanely jealous because you got to see it on Broadway.
I mean, I lived like a stone's throw away from New York, though, so it's like
that's still.
So
like, my dream right now is to go to the Fox Theater in St. Louis and see a musical at the Fox.
And this is Balen pissing off over 100,000 people, but going to St. Louis, ooh, dream big there, Ray.
Yeah.
Sorry, just
no, specifically the Fox Theater in St. Louis.
I know. I'm just saying, that's me being an asshole, folks.
But no, I would love
this happens.
to go to.
So I mean, like, personally, I would love to, like, I really wish that there was more musicals that kind of grabbed me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, like, yeah, I kind of grew up with like is it do they consider it it's the quote unquote new age of Disney animation stuff, like The Little Mermaid and things like that, which were very musically driven, which so I grew up with that and I enjoyed the hell out of it. I think, spoilers, I've seen The Little Mermaid in theaters, the first run in theaters, not when they re-released it in theaters, probably something like 30 times.
Nice.
So, I mean, that was the thing. So, but for me, like, I've also seen other types of musicals. So, for example, one that we all are aware of, the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, never seen it.
You're aware of it, though. So
I'm aware of it.
I have also never seen it.
Which is more surprising.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I have never seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
So I'd seen it a ton of times previously, but then when I was about 15, 16, I would go with, at the time, my friends who were all older, and I would go to this little almost like an art house theater in where they had like I think 3 screens, but every Saturday night there was a troupe called the Home of Happiness that would do Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I went every Saturday for about a year, and it was, I mean, it was. You would think like, oh, it's just going to be the same thing over and over again. But you had the Shadowcasters doing their thing. And it always, I mean, the movie was always the same, but what they were doing wasn't always the same. So it was always this new thing there. And then on, I forget what was there was one show a year where they would do the the sequel to Rocky Horror Picture Show, Shock Treatment.
Okay.
Which
I've never heard of this. Go on.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one I'm not familiar with.
A lot of people aren't familiar with it. It wasn't as popular as Rocky Horror, but it's another musical. It follows Brad and Janet, who are, spoilers, two of the main characters in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yes, I use a spoiler tag on a movie that came out in the 70s, so... but yeah, so I mean, it's one of those things. But I've saw that so many times, and yeah, it's a musical. I enjoyed the hell out of it. But one type of musical I do enjoy very much is like the rock operas.
Okay. Yeah.
Which the two most prevalent ones for today's generation is Repo the Genetic Opera.
Yeah.
Which is something Ray can't watch because of iHorror. Well, at least there's only one section of iHorror.
Yeah, but I can't. My roommates. I can't watch Repo.
Yeah.
I had roommates they loved it. I tried watching it. Nope, can't watch it. Don't care how good the music is. Can't do it.
Yeah, and then the other one was Devil's Carnival, which was pretty good. I enjoyed that. It's structured around three people who die, go to hell, and basically the devil's telling Aesop's fables, and each fable he tells correlates to one of the three souls.
Oh.
So
I thought you were going to say die, go to hell, and have to listen to musicals. So.
Well, I mean they're singing and they're singing and stuff. They did release a sequel to it, which I mean the Devil's Carnival was only, I want to say like maybe about an hour and a half long. Not even. It was like 45 minutes to like an hour long.
Wow, that is really short for a musical.
But the sequel, Devil's Carnival Alleluia, is a full-fledged film. So it's about hour and a half, 2 hours long.
Okay.
It delves more into that universe, and you get you get your standard acting, you get your singing and all the other stuff. Fun note about those two films, done by the same people that wrote Repo. So.
Oh, okay.
So they have the musical chops. They really do, and it's if you don't have a problem with a slight chance of eye horror, check out Repo.
Yep.
And
it's got good music. I just can't watch it.
It really does. I mean, the music is fantastic. And then on top of that, Devil's Carnival, which I mean is just some people take issue with it because like, oh, it's a thing about the devil and hell and blah blah blah, and I mean that's fair.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a problem with that kind of material, it is a fucking terrific musical. So, but yeah. So I mean, there's that. Yay.
Yeah. I'll say I've liked musicals since I was a kid, but the ones that I always watched were all the classic ones.
Okay.
Like, like Sound of Music.
Sound of Music.
Is a goddess.
Music Man.
Music Man, yeah. Fiddler on the Roof. Oklahoma. Singing in the Rain. The oldies but goodies.
Yeah.
But I finally I started watching modern. Well, and then of course the Disney one.
Yeah.
But I finally started watching some of the more modern ones. Watched, like I said, I just watched Wicked, which I think I really watching that, and Wicked is basically it's the tale of the Wizard of Oz, but it's the prequel to it, and it's basically the story of the Wicked Witch of the West and how things came to be the way things came to be, and all of that. And I would say hands down that my favorite musical used to be Seven Brides for Seven Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And I do still love that musical. But I adore Wicked. Wicked is such a good musical. And then I started watching Heathers, but I haven't actually finished watching. I don't know how that one's set in the 80s. I don't know how. I think it's not exactly a new musical. That one. Been around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But and then I know some more obscure ones, like my time in college when I helped out with the theater and everything. Like the musical that's.
You're talking. Well, okay. So you're talking about the musical, Heather's the musical, right?
Heather's the musical, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm kind of looking this up, and
I started watching. I haven't actually gotten to.
Is it the live performance, or is it like did they do a movie of it?
I found it on YouTube.
Okay, if you found it on YouTube,
It was a live performance, probably.
It was probably a live performance. So, yeah, the Heathers the musical is a rock musical with blah 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 whatever, etc. Based on the 1988 cult film Heathers. That's where I got confused.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know it was set in the 80s.
Yeah. So it's based on.
It moved off Broadway in 2014.
Yes.
That's why I thought it was more modern. Okay.
Yep. I mean, it's still being performed, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew that. And as I say, I started watching it, but then someone told me that, in my current mindset, I probably shouldn't watch it because it's a darker musical.
I mean, it's a darker story.
Yeah.
To begin with.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, because I had just about it as one that was a good musical, but it's like talk about suicide and maybe not right now.
Yeah, I mean,
especially when the suicide is basically about being perceived to be in the LGBT community as the theme of it.
Yeah. I was like, okay, we're just gonna.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch the musical because it's a musical and I love it.
It's. I mean, I get you, Ray. I get you. Where
right.
It's just like it's something you wanna watch or
right.
or do, for example.
Mm-hmm.
But in your current mindset, it's ill-advised to continue with it.
Yeah.
So instead, I ended up watching Legally Blonde. Which actually I enjoyed more.
It's better than a musical.
Not by much.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the musical version more than the movie. So
there is a musical of Legally Blonde.
There is a musical of Legally Blonde. And because they needed the song Is He Gay or European?
So yeah, I mean, it's just.
I repeat my question. My answer is not satisfactory.
Fair enough. But now, yeah, it was funny. It made me laugh, so that was good. But yeah, so, oh, and in this time, so when I was looking,
I think you might have backed off your mic a little too much because you cut out.
Sorry. When I was looking for Wicked, the musical, scouring the internet for it, because it was very hard to find. And the one that I ended up watching, like I said, it was a decent. It was recorded by an audience member, and it was not the original Broadway cast. It was just a live performance. But it was a pretty well performed version. But I found and subscribed to, because I have an obsession issue.
Mm-hmm.
There is it's called Broadway HD, and it is a Broadway musical streaming website. And it is probably the best thing in the world that I could have ever stumbled upon.
So, Ray, what I'm going to actually recommend is see if they have an affiliate thing, because it'd be cool to have them as a sponsor. Because Balen would absolutely be like, because we would have Balen do the live reads on it. So this is a great service, and I absolutely adore it. Fuck both you guys.
The ad copy. We wouldn't have them as a sponsor for long.
Let's see. Legal, right? That would be under legal?
No. What was it called?
Broadway HD. BroadwayHD.com.
$9 a month is not bad.
No, it's really not. I'm willing to pay it.
It does not look like they have anything for
Oh, sad face.
There's I mean, the other way it would be to kind of send an email to them and say, "Hey, listen, blah."
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you have difficulties encountering an error or simply have a question about our services, please reach out to our customer service team. So, and they would be able to kind of get you in touch with the people.
Dude, I will do a segment on whatever Broadway show I watched this week, because we know I'll be watching.
I'm thinking that might be a bi-weekly podcast.
Yes, about Broadway shows. I will do it. I will make that. It's not even a sacrifice. Oh.
So I have a feeling it'll see. Here's the only problem, Ray, is I have a feeling that I would end up being the co-host on this, not know what you're watching, and at the same time, it would be that whole, like, because we did that.
Oh my
one
gosh,
episode.
they have Oklahoma starring Hugh Jackman. Sorry.
Oklahoma's okay.
But they don't have the Music Man starring.
They don't have the Music Man starring Hugh Jackman. Hey, Broadway HD. There's a show that needs to happen.
Okay, so I'm looking at their most popular.
Mm-hmm.
Portuguese Kid, Ernest Shackleton Loves Me, The Toxic Avenger, the musical. You have my attention, Broadway Net HD. You have my attention. The Railway Child, Indecent, Tom Paine, From Here to Eternity, The Wind in the Willows.
Ooh.
The Gabriels, Women of a Certain Age. Okay. Some Noel Cowards Presents Laughter.
They have Cats, which is like the only musical that I've ever run into that I've actually left mid-musical.
Which is weird, because in other cases, Ray loves Cats.
Yeah.
I do love Cats, and I love musicals, but I do not love the musical about cats.
So they also have
People are complex. So.
They also have Gypsy on there twice, and this is just the most popular, because you got the 2015, but then you also have the 93 with Bette Midler.
Yeah. Yes.
Is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
They have Shakespeare. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. So they have the musicals, and then they've also got just like Broadway plays that aren't musicals.
Yeah. And Riverdance.
Yeah.
fucking Riverdance. Because
they've got BBC drama shows.
you know, they got their comedy stuff, they got standard plays. Like this is actually really pretty awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Foreign theater. Which I honestly probably won't watch a whole lot of foreign theater because other languages. Unless they have subtitles. If they have subtitles, then I might. Let's see. Do they have subtitles?
This is how quiet I get when shit like this comes up.
Yep.
Presented with English subtitles. Yes, they do have the English subtitles.
I was seeing if they had the producers. They don't.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they don't have I was gonna say and so I had gotten the free trial because it had come up when I was searching for ways to watch Wicked.
Gotcha.
And I was trying to do it legitimately, and then I tried to do it the Putt Locker way, and that didn't work. And then I finally stumbled on a YouTube version. I was like, oh, thank God.
They do have 2001's Jekyll and Hyde with Zardu Hasselfrau. So
Okay.
I like how that just went over everybody's head.
No, I got it. I'm just not interested in it.
Oh no, yeah, no. I understand that. Like I know you're completely silent,
No, we've lost him.
and Ray's just like, oh, that's, and like I can just hear the gears turning.
I didn't get it.
To clarify, by the way, just a brief aside, but talking about Broadway to me is like talking about porn to Ray.
Fair.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just, I mean, this seems like a very interesting service that
Oh yeah.
I think Ray could have a lot of fun with.
I mean, if this is the kind of thing you're into, it sounds like this would be a good use for it.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at their selection is just, it's rather amazing. It is seriously some of, do they have anything with Patrick Stewart? Because that would be terrific. I'm looking through all their Shakespeare shit because I know he's done a good bit of Shakespeare, yeah. But yeah, it's just, I'm not seeing anything. But then again, I'm just kind of clicking through really quick. But no, I mean, it seems like a really cool service, really awesome one, and it's definitely something I know that that you, Ray, will have a lot of fun with.
Oh yes. I love theater and not so much acting. I kind of got over that when I discovered costuming, honestly. But I love I love watching theater. That was always one of my favorite things. There's a open air theater that's near where we live, and my mom and I would go to almost every show that pretty much caught our interest. We would go because they had free seats, and so if you got there early enough in the night, we would wait in line, and you would get to sit in. I think they had about 300 seats that were in the back of the theater that were free seating, and so we would make a night of it. So we would pack up sandwiches, leave as soon as she got out of work, get up, get in line, eat our supper, just sit out until they opened the gate, go get in our seats, and then watch the show. and it was like the best thing ever. It was why I tried out for the plays when I got into college, which is what got me into costuming, because you know, I auditioned for a part. They didn't have a part for me, but noticed that I had some experience sewing, and they're like, well, would you then be interested in being our costume designer? And I was like, sure, thinking it would get me, you know, having had that experience with them, that then the next time I tried out, it would have me a one-up step for the next performance, and maybe I would get a part then. Never tried out for another play or musical or anything like that.
To be fair, the reasoning there is kind of like, hey, if I join the marching band, I'll be that much closer to being on the football team.
Yeah, well,
I
mean, that's fair, but hey,
I mean, you didn't realize it at the time, but still,
right.
I mean, that's kind of like, and I'll use theater for example. We had people that, because I helped sometimes with stage crew.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I was AV, but they like to film their performances and stuff like that, so I had to get things set up. Became friendly with a lot of the stage crew. Some of them were stage crew because they couldn't be in the play,
mm-hmm.
and they're just like, well, if I show my dedication, then maybe they'll have me in the next one.
Yeah.
And it's
like that was kind of my thinking.
Okay, nope.
It never was.
I never tried out for another play, so who knows? But no, I honestly don't think that I was actually cut out to be on stage. I really don't.
You say this now before we do our first live panel at a convention.
No, please no. I have such stage fright.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like, basically, what'll end up happening, and I'm partially joking about this.
Oh yeah,
I'm partially, because I would absolutely love to have a situation where we end up getting invited to a convention or something.
Yeah. To
do the podcast live at a convention.
Oh yeah.
And I don't care what show it is. Like, for example, let's just say it's a, it's a Pot Errors one.
Mm-hmm.
We're bringing Maury. Let's just say it's a Gimmick Bag one. I'm bringing you too. Like, that's just the way it is.
So now, here is the thing. I have done panels.
Mm-hmm.
I've done panels as Carcat.
Yeah.
I've done panels as Carcat and done freaking well.
Yeah.
So, I guess technically I can act.
But the thing is, we wouldn't be asking you to act.
Right, and that's the thing. Yeah, no. But as I guess in regard to my earlier statement of I'm not cut out to be on stage.
You're not cut out to perform.
Right. But I guess I can't really say that because I've done it.
Yeah.
And I've even actually gone on as myself too, because I did a panel at a convention where I wasn't in character, as I just talked about I can't remember exactly what I talked about. It was about Homestuck, because everything in my life is Homestuck.
I will say that, like, I'll just put it like this: the best way for me to kind of describe the scenario for you, mm-hmm. where you wouldn't panic,
mm-hmm.
would be, it's like having like during your fiber retreat, you have a class, and you have a packed class.
Oh, yep, which I've done.
So, I mean, if you could do that, then it's very much within your realm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I say I can't do it, but I've been in this situation, and I can.
Yeah.
I prefer costuming over being on the stage. Let me just put it that way.
So I'm just curious. You say these fiberglasses being full. Is that a regular thing?
Oh God. That was almost DNC levels of sighing. It was great. I goddamn, that clip is still awesome. I love it.
Oh God. I'm sorry, I was quiet for too long. I had to come back in.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Oh yeah, no, that's absolutely fair. And the fact
that's totally fair.
we've also veered away from Broadway. So
Yeah.
I mean, basically, we just gave you a breather so you can go on with your day, and then take.
I had to get my second wind.
Yeah, yeah. You had to take a quick 15, and then grab yourself some orange slices, and.
I mean, I go silent when you guys talk about comics, so let me have my Broadway comments.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, I'm not complaining. You didn't hear me complain about it.
No.
I complain about musicals themselves.
See,
because of course I am.
But I mean, that's the thing. Like we all have our own little things, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I try not to bring some of the stuff I'm into to the podcast because I know I'll be the only one talking about it. So, but at the same time, like Ray can talk about stuff, and I know enough that I can. First off, whatever you want to talk about, Ray, I'm absolutely fine with. Same with you, Balen.
Yep.
And I'm diversified enough that I can probably add a little something to it. That's the thing. Like, I mean, it's fair, you know. So it's not just, you know, for example, Ray going on for a half hour on Broadway, you know. So
I could.
You I think you could easily do 2 hours and 2 hours and 5 minutes of Broadway talk a week. But yeah. It's rather interesting, rather cool. But
yeah.
Now I would definitely not be opposed to a Broadway podcast thing.
That would be fun.
Oh, I know you would love the hell out of it.
Oh yeah.
You would love the hell out of it, and I would have to bone up on all my on musicals and shit.
Yeah, I think you would have to bone up, or we'd have to find someone else that is really, really into it too.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is if we find somebody who's really, really into it too, then I don't need to be here.
Well, I mean, that would be sad. I mean, there's 3 of us. There could be 3 for that. I mean,
yeah,
maybe Maury.
Fair.
Yeah.
Maury's very, very much into Disney stuff, so.
Which is almost entirely musicals.
Fair.
It's fair.
But yeah.
We could talk about how Frozen was stupid because it wasn't, you can't count it as a musical because the entire second half of it had like no music.
Yeah, they front loaded all the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So you agree that the musicals are bullshit? Thank you.
If they even had a reprise of "Yes, I Want to Build a Snowman" that made you cry when Anna was frozen, I would have been happy.
Or when Oleg was melting.
Olaf, but yes.
Yeah, whatever. Same. Shows you how much I care about it.
And I got where you're coming from.
You're melting all over the place. Sorry that you died.
And of course, I'm sitting here thinking about something that's a spoiler, and I'm not going to be mentioning it.
Stop mentioning that you want to mention spoilers.
Yeah.
God.
No, I know exactly where you're going, Balen.
Yeah, right.
Yep. We'll talk about those next week.
Yes, we will. Because Ray will have seen it by then.
Yeah. Hell or high water. It'll happen.
I'm gonna fall
Ray will do the thing. No, you
I'm just
won't
gonna
trust
fall
me.
asleep at the freaking theater.
You won't trust me.
You will not. But yeah, it's just I don't know.
Meh.
So has anybody else had anything interesting happen to them this past week?
I recorded one episode of Comfy Corner.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very
Do you,
nice.
which do you want to share which book it was or
It's called Hatching Magic.
dragons?
Yeah. Dragons. Well, Wyvern.
Wyvern.
I am
Yeah.
shocked.
Yeah.
Shocked, I tell you.
I am shocked.
Yes.
I am legitimately shocked because it's wyverns and not dragons. So
Yeah. I only got like an hour into it. Because the dogs that I was house sitting for started making a ruckus, and I was getting really tired.
that's fair.
I was hoping to make it a 2-hour episode, but yeah, it just was not in the cards.
Yeah, I mean that's completely understandable.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be coming soon-ish, I guess.
Yeah, I'm planning to get through the entire book before I release any episodes.
Which is a smart idea.
Yeah. Just so that I can guarantee that the book is done before.
Yeah.
So I don't leave anyone hanging like I did with Artemis Fowl 2.
Fair. See, I mean, considering it's World Goth Day, it would have been terrific if we had known ahead of time about World Goth Day, because this would have been the perfect day to release My Immortal.
Oh, it would have.
Gothic fiction.
Gothic fiction. Oh, maybe
Maybe next year, yeah.
Maybe next year.
Or Halloween, who knows?
Oh, okay. So you want to know the funniest thing? So is it the fact that is World Goth Day? Is it the 22nd of May, or is it the 4th Tuesday of May?
Probably 22nd. Most of the time they are. You know, on a specific day, a date,
Yeah.
day of the month.
The 22nd of May, regularly.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you want to know the most hilarious thing about that?
What?
22nd of May is Holzbrook's birthday.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is terrific.
Oh, my kid brother was born on World Goth Day.
Yep. Totally
Well,
not a goth, though.
I mean, yeah, definitely.
Better if you think.
I have nothing but high expectations that he had a great birthday.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Oh. So
He showed up.
Oh. You were saying?
No, I was gonna say he showed up. We had dinner. He got presents, and we went and toured his new house. So I got to see his new house.
That's cool.
Surprisingly clean for 3 mid or early 20-year-old males living in it. But yeah.
Well, how long has he been there?
Especially when one of them's brother. Month and a half.
How long?
He's been there a month and a half, I think.
Wow, that is a miracle then.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if it was like a week and a half, 2 weeks, then yeah, that'd be that would be
But
understandable.
no, it's actually really clean over there. So he's been pretty awesome. So but no, actually he's been even now that I think about it, like around the house when he was living here the last couple of years, he's actually been pretty good about keeping things clean and neat. So I guess that makes sense.
Anything interesting your end, Balen?
No, pretty much just
a movie
like last week. Yeah,
just a movie we're not talking about. Gotcha.
That was completely awesome. You all should see it. Deadpool 2 in theaters right now.
Yep. So on Saturday, I was working, and I wore my New Wave Requiem shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And based on that, I got invited to a local Vampire the Masquerade LARP.
I read about that.
Oh, cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so I got invited to, they said even if you just want to go and check out what we're doing, like, you're more than welcome. And I was just like, oh, okay. Like, so I got to get, they gave me the name of their troupe and everything like that, and I got to get in contact with them to kind of get everything situated. But yeah, I got invited to it, and it was like really fucking interesting.
That's cool.
That is awesome.
Because I mean, I've always been interested in LARPing.
Yeah.
LARPing is essentially, to me, the way I look at it, it's essentially a non-convention non-convention cosplay.
Yeah.
It's cosplay, tabletop, and improv acting all rolled into one.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, the whole thing is...
yeah, because not all cosplay is... I mean, there are some cosplayers that role play their characters.
Oh, yeah.
And then there are some that take it too far.
Mm.
At conventions. And, I mean, like, I'll occasionally, like, when I'm in character... I'll occasionally be in character when I'm in cosplay at conventions.
Mm-hmm.
But only to people that are in cosplay from the same show, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that are in character to me first.
Gotcha.
Like if someone comes up to me and they're from a different show and they recognize me, I if they ask me to do something in character, I'll do character. But I generally don't act in character just to randos. Because I think, especially because, like, I cosplay assholes.
You cosplay assholes? Gotcha.
Yeah, and it's like I'm not gonna act like that to random people. But I've seen especially a lot of Homestucks do that, and it's like, you know what?
There's an age-old tradition among con-goers called freaking mundanes.
Yeah.
And it basically means to go to like a Denny's or something in costume and to just pretty much be your character to the point where it freaks everybody out.
Yeah. Now I have gone through like a Starbucks drive-through and done like made my order in a Carcat voice, like in Carcat cosplay, but I still was like, please, thank you. And not
Probably weren't Carcat.
No, I was not Carcat. I was not,
you were a cat in a car, so
I was still, polite and everything, but I did the voice and everything, and I did that, but I was just like, yes, I would like a caramel macchiato, please. I don't remember what my order was then, but thanks. Have a great day.
I'm just imagining Starin ordering at a Starbucks now. Human. Let me get the biggest beverage you have. I don't understand these words you're saying. I'm just going to point.
Nah.
I
just do it in the, like I said, I'll do it in the voice, but I won't do, it's like, your day is already hard enough.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's day is hard enough. Look at the world we live in.
Yeah. No, and I agree with you on
I'll
that.
freak him out with my face paint, but that's about it.
At the same time, though, I will say that if I was working a job and somebody came in cosplay and like really nailed their character, I would it would make my day.
That's fair.
To us, it would be cool, but we are a certain subset of reality.
I was gonna say we're kind
Yeah,
of
we're a subset. We're a subset of reality. That's
that too. But we are also a subset of humanity that enjoys a good cosplay, a good role play, and everything.
Yeah.
Think about John Q. Public, Mr. and Mrs. Middle America. Think about somebody in Des Moines, Iowa.
fair.
And I'm sorry to all three of you, but yes, Des Moines, Iowa. And think about how they would react to someone coming in from
Let's be real. Des Moines, Iowa is not listening to our podcast.
Are you sure about that?
I'm not. I mean, I hedged my bets by saying there were up to three of them. But I mean, if they go in like VTM and they start acting like VTM characters, that is going to freak the hell out of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like when you a couple years back, Humble Bundle did the Vampire Revised bundle, right?
Mm-hmm.
In that included Mind's Eye Theater Vampire the Masquerade, which is the LARP rules.
Yeah.
So I've been reading through that. And one of the things it says is, considering that you will be doing this in public, please make aware, first off, protect the masquerade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But secondly, let people know that you're just LARPing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Freaking the Mundane is about not doing that. The reason I use Des Moines, by the way, and this is just because this is my own little internal sense of humor, is a long time ago, I was part of a VTM campaign, because I did play some, it was a lot more freeform than storyteller based, but it involved vying for control over who would be the new Prince of Des Moines.
There was like 3 people vying for control.
I mean, but it just, and that's what made it funny, because Des Moines is not what you think of when you think hotbed of vampire political activity.
Fair enough.
No, absolutely not. I mean,
and that's what made it funny to me.
I mean, arguably, I could think of a lot of it. Like Montana's another one.
Oh,
yeah. The Prince of Billings.
Yeah. Oh, I will also, when I'm in cosplay, and I go to a place that like asks your name, I will never give my real name. I will always give the name of the character.
I don't blame you. I mean, I do that typically when I order food to begin with. And they go, "Can we get your name?" And I just give them like an assumed name. It's not like they're going to check my ID. Like,
yeah.
Until I give them my credit card to pay for the stuff, and they go, "Wait a second, that's not the right name." And I'm like, "I don't give a fuck."
Right.
But yeah.
I mean, hell, y'all don't even know my real name, so I'm just Thrabalen.
So
you know how secretive I am.
I don't care.
So technically,
as far as I'm concerned, Thrabalen is your real name.
So yeah, no, I agree with you 100% on that. Though there has been a situation where that may have been exposed for like a couple seconds. I do not remember it though. So that is a thing.
I don't remember it. So
we were doing a rabbit.
Oh.
And you signed into Rabbit. And,
yeah. Okay, there is that.
And because it makes you sign up, create an account.
Yeah, which is really freaking stupid.
Which I'm fine with them having you set up an account, but there's a part
don't
for
make you sign in with your real name.
No, I understand it. There's a part for your username and then your real name, and then they use your real name instead of your username,
which is dumb. Fucking stupid. Yeah,
that is dumb.
So yeah, it's just it was that situation, and it was just like that happened because I do remember what is it? Emvel came in, and you came in. And I was just like, "Who the I know Emvel, like
there is a reason for that."
Yeah, and I'm just like, "Oh, Emvel's here. Who the fuck's this other person?"
Yeah.
I don't know anybody with that name.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then like a couple seconds later, like then I just hear over voice, "Motherfucker."
Yeah.
And then
a little bit of a Storms moment. Yes.
And then and then like 10 seconds later it changes to Thrabalen, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it was the whole situation of you didn't see that, and I'm just like, no, not really. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. If there's anybody I care the least about knowing that, about if they know that or not, it's you two. So I mean,
that's fair.
It's not a big deal.
Like I said, as far as I'm concerned,
Yeah.
Thrabbalen's your real name.
I mean,
I know Todd's just because Facebook is stupid.
Yeah, I know Todd's for multiple reasons. Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, so
I know Storm's is because Facebook is stupid.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I like Facebook. I have it because there's people that know me by like my birth name. So
that's why I have 2 Facebook accounts.
Which I ran into a second one on there, and I was just like, wait.
Oh, did you run into my other?
Yeah, and I was just like, I'm like, did somebody create a fake Ray account?
Okay, no, so and this things. My mom, I accidentally hit add friend on my Ray account to my mom, and she's like, I got a friend account from Ray last name. Yes, exactly. And she's like, I think you may have been hacked, and I'm like, okay, I'll look into it. I was like, I'll log in, look into it.
See, the thing is like, I would love to start like, I have my Facebook page for Todd. I don't have a Facebook account for it, so it's like, all right, well, that's a thing, like whatever. But then I'll see like other people I know that have like their Facebook accounts are their, the names that we know them by.
Yeah.
So like, for example, like New Wave.
If I were to ever lose my mind. Yeah.
Yeah. So like New Wave. New Wave shows up on my feed as New Wave Masquerade, and I'm like, this is terrific.
Yeah.
I love it.
So the problem arose when I friended my other account so that I could add it as an admin on my Dragon Horde Creations page, and so then it's like, oh, you might know this person, you might know this. I'm like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no.
I am going to be perfectly honest here. There's a good reason why almost nobody knows me other than by the name Thrabalen. It's because that name I was born under, I do not feel like I'm that person.
Yeah.
Thrabalen is the person I choose to be.
I understand that.
So there.
I understand that feeling.
That is 100% truth.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, for me, it's very much I would say like a dual persona, but I mean, there may be another one in there as well. Just saying. But I mean, people that I grew up with, family, and people I work with know me by the birth name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody else, like the people I worked with when I worked in production, know me as Todd. The people on stream know me as Todd. Like everybody, like most people know me as Todd. So like when they go, like when somebody will be like, "Oh well, you on Facebook?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on Facebook," and they're like, "Oh well, what's your account?" And I give them my birth name because that's the thing, and they're just like, "Huh."
Yeah.
So your name not really isn't, and I'm like, I mean, it's the name I use. I've used that name since I was like 15. So.
Yep. The other name is how I was born. Thrabalen is who I am.
Yeah. I mean, for me, the whole Todd thing started when I was in a band. So it was it was a stage name, It was a stage name and all the other stuff and so on and so forth. And yeah, I mean, it just stuck. So, but yeah, that's a ting.
Indeed, it is.
Is it weird that I'm still looking like goth stuff?
No, not weird at all.
All right, fair enough. Because I found a whole wiki on like goth types. And
so I just unfriended my other account.
And there's still an admin on your.
And they are still an admin, so good. I'm not going to run into that issue anymore.
Yep. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I do not know. But yeah, the I mean the whole like LARP thing I'm really intrigued with. There's a lot of fucking rules I would have to learn because I've never done LARP.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of
you find out that they meet every Tuesday.
Well, I mean, and then the other thing is like, so I would have to learn the rules. First off, I want to learn the rules before I even go and check out the troop. You know, if I do decide to play, I have to have my character approved by their storyteller.
Makes sense.
Which is fine because I mean, if they're running a very specific LARP.
Yep.
I can't pull out, like, for example, if I wanted to be like a Son of Discord, which is a subsect of the Daughters of Cacophony bloodline, which, I mean, they're a whole very interesting. It's a type of vampire that Ray would play.
Okay.
Because they do a lot of singing.
Mm.
Yeah. So. So yeah, I mean, there's that. But if I wanted to play a character like that, or if I wanted to play a Bali, it would be a very interesting thing where they're like, well, we can't have that, you know? But yeah, it's just like there's so many different rules and things you got to follow. The storyteller's got to have his things. Do you want to sing that, Balen?
No, I'm not singing shit.
I will.
All right. Go for it.
Do you want to form a blood bond?
It's only a simple blood bond.
As I said, I'm about to hate myself, but but the thing is, my sense of humor overrides my hatred.
Yep.
That's how I am.
No, I'm good. Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just, I mean, I really like, I've always been interested in getting involved in LARPing and stuff like that. And, I know, like, so this group, the groups I knew about, I found out through By Night Studios, because they have a whole listing of like different groups. This group isn't on that list. So,
Okay.
So there is other groups out there. It's a matter of like who you know, kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know that the one that on By Night that's around me, very strict when it comes to their whole thing. So, but yeah, I mean, it's like, so I would have to learn the rules, check out the LARP, see if I feel comfortable doing it. Afterwards, I would have to decide on a clan. Actually, I'd have to decide on several clans and concepts, and then see which one gets approved. So, because I'm not playing a fucking Malkavian. Fuck that.
No, that would get just tiring.
I mean, when I did tabletop, I played a Malkavian for a few years. It was exhausting.
But I'm saying in person, more so.
Oh, God.
LARPing that would be exhausting.
Mm-hmm. I mean, certain character types would be more taxing than others. Absolutely. But yeah.
Gangrel.
I mean,
Bruja more so than Gangrel, I would think, but yeah.
I mean, Brujas just, they're very idealistic and fucking hot-blooded. I mean, so their temper's something you gotta deal with.
Yeah.
Gangrel tend to be more in tune with their beast, and the feral nature of it. So, I mean, there is that. But you can kind of... It's not as difficult as playing, hey, I'm playing a mentally ill character that has to be mentally ill 90% of the time.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's that, especially if your derangement is like klepto.
Yeah.
Go into public. Like, listen, they're gonna buy the stuff, but I mean, they're kind of compulsed to fucking just pocket it. So don't get them arrested. But I mean, like even like Nosferatu is only taxing because of the amount of like makeup you would have to use.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Ventrue and Toreador would be the two easiest.
Toreador would be, yeah. Ventrue, I mean, if you're fine with being an asshole 100% of the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's just, yeah. I mean,
oh god, Tremere.
I mean, well, I mean, so the Tremere, it doesn't seem like that would be a bad one either.
Well, we're back to the whole asshole 100% of the time thing, though.
I mean, I would say Tremere are assholes about 90% of the time.
Yeah, fair.
Bruja are assholes about 95% of the time. Ventrue are assholes 170% of the time. 170% of the time, they're assholes all the time.
I feel like with Toreador, you could have an easy night of it just by finding like something looking and go, okay, I'm going to stare at this for the next hour.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
Yeah,
but then I could also see the element of like, let's just say there's a Nazi in the group. Like,
yeah,
you're constantly like repulsed by them because of their monstrous visage.
Yeah.
But then there's like, let's just say there's somebody in the group, it doesn't matter what clan, and they're dressed pretty decently, and you're just like, those are some cute shoes. Where'd you get those? Because those are amazing. Do they make them
dress in purple and you get the your dress look like Pierce, and it just doesn't work well.
They have some nice shoes. Pierce, we're in a strip club. Like, why are you looking at the shoes?
Exactly.
Fucking Pierce. God damn it. But yeah, it's just, I mean, Toreador would probably be the easiest of the bunch to play. Just from I say that, but it also depends on the person.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you have a background in like fashion and keeping up with trends and all the other stuff, Toreador is probably going to be the easiest fucking thing.
Absolutely.
If you just care about fighting and punching shit, Bruja's your go-to.
Yeah.
If you just want to condescend everyone 300% of the time, then you're a Ventrue. It's true. It's Ventrue. But yeah, it's just, I mean, just the overall, like, I mean, some of the other ones that are a bit interesting, like, you have the Assamite, you have the Ravenos. The Ravenos, I mean, they can kind of be easy like the Toreador, in a sense. Though they are compelled by a vice.
Yeah.
So it's similar to a Toreador in a sense, but it's also similar to a Malkavian. Mm-hmm. Except for your vice takes the place of your derangement, your illness, so if you just don't give a fuck and you're good at like sneaking around, a Nazi is a good way to go.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you want to be a fucking wizard and a filthy blood mage, and Tremere, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah. If you're more akin to the magical aspects, then Tremere, and I want to say one of the types of Assamites are magic driven. Tzimisce are another one that's like,
that would be exhausting for me to play. I gotta be honest. Just because of their mindset.
In a sense, yeah. I agree. I'm also thinking about how exhausting it would be with with your appearance.
Yeah.
Because that's another issue. Of course, not all Zemitzi look like they do in Bloodlines, you know. So
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just they want to show their beast outwardly, you know. It's whatever. But yeah, this has been a very interesting World Goth Day podcast. This has been very cool. Do we have anything we want to kind of jump to really quick, or any other topics we would like to discuss, or are we just say this is a good point to kind of wrap things up? Considering I'm not getting any responses, I'm assuming this is a good point to wrap things up. So yeah, this has been a lot of fun, guys. Thank you very much for checking us out. Once again, you know, you can check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/precipicepodcast, facebook.com/precipicepodcast, twitter.com/precipicepodnet. Of course, catch the Balen on Twitter, twitter.com/Thrabalen, DorkyRae, twitter.com/dorky_ray. You catch me, twitter.com/ToddEvf. Once again, the music provided by Technoax. Very awesome, very cool, always a great time. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for hanging out with us, and hopefully you had a great World Goth Day and such. If you're interested in any of our shirts, including the Pride ones, especially the Pride ones, you can get those at shop.spreadshirt.com/precipicepodcast. Loot Crate, amazing service I've used in the past. I wish I could use it again, but something that right now budgetarily does not fit. There's a link in the show notes. Sign up to Loot Crates. They have a lot of different boxes. From my understanding, there's a new quarterly Deadpool box, which sounds really cool. And of course, the Fright Crate, which is really awesome as well.
My Discord finally reconnected. Hey, all.
Oh, hey!
Same here.
Wait, you guys both... Because I was saying stuff, and I'm like, does anybody have anything to add, or should we just wrap up? And I heard nothing. I'm like, I guess we should just wrap up, so...
yeah, I disconnected.
Oh.
What I'm hearing is all three of us disconnected from each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it showed you guys still in the call.
Yeah,
Same here.
Yep.
So, Discord, fix your shit.
Now I said, I'm gonna guess you guys are no longer near me because it got real quiet for a long time.
Yeah, I was like, dead silence, and then no one said anything, and I was like,
nope.
Or maybe I'm having issues.
Oh God, it's doing it again.
Oh no, I can hear you, Balen.
Yeah, I can hear you guys. But anyway, for DorkyRae, for Thrabalen of Thrabalen Gaming, Todd, thank you guys very much for checking us out, whether it was on Radio Public, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, the Twitch archive, or the YouTube archive. So, till next time, guys, we'll catch you. We'll catch you next week. Hopefully, we'll be talking Deadpool 2. See ya.